I did it, and I have no clue why. I sat through the entire Skylanders soundtrack to rank all 75 official pieces of music, just to rank them from worst to best. For one YouTube video, that will probably get like 40 views. Like I mentioned in my Subnautica video, the Skylanders music has high highs but very low lows. So I wanted to listen to it all and see how good or bad each song, game, or soundtrack as a whole is. I briefly covered a few songs from each game in my original Tribute to Skylanders video, but since then I have learned that the soundtracks in Imaginators is completely just music open to the public, so literally no effort on Activision's part. So with that discovery, I started making a list of rules for what I would qualify as a soundtrack, and lucky me, Lauren Balfe has how do you pronounce that? On his YouTube channel, he has an official playlist for every game's soundtrack that he worked on. So I pretty much use this as the official list for a few reasons. With this, it gives me a clear list of official pieces that their main composer worked on. This means I am excluding the Elemental soundtracks, the Soul Gem soundtracks, and unfortunately, even that piece of music I used for the intro of my last Skylander video. Also, they had to be made specifically for the games, which excludes pretty much all of the Imaginators soundtrack from this list. I don't know why I said pretty much. It's the entire Imaginators soundtrack. We're not doing that here. These songs in Imaginators are open to the public and not special to Skylanders, so I'm excluding every single one of them. So with all of these rules in place, I had 75 official songs to listen to and review. I gave a score out of 100, gave an explanation, and after a few hours of writing, listening, and dying, I have it all. A list of every official piece of music in Skylanders. So without further ado, here it is. Motherly Mayhem is garbage. Honestly, this is the only song on here I genuinely do not like. It actually was given a higher score than the 74th place. This is a final boss piece of music, and it is so boring, bland, it never goes anywhere. It just doesn't work. Chef Zeppelin. I actually saw this on a list of the best pieces of music for Trap Team, and I am so confused. Now, this is specifically the version in the official soundtrack, so I'm sure there's a different one that's maybe a bit bigger, but it gets points for matching the level and not being too boring and bad. Again, Lair of the Golden Queen isn't necessarily bad, but it's just so underwhelming. This is another final boss. Why is this the music we're getting for it? The first half of Soda Springs does not work in the slightest. Not for level. Musically, it's decent, but the second half does work with the level, and it's pretty much as decent as the other one. It's just slightly below average. I had low expectations for this one, and they were barely met. This is pretty much as basic as it gets. Not terrible, but there's nothing good about it either. Wow, we're at 70 and these scores are already past 50? I mean, I told you these were pretty good. This song is great at first, but it gets really boring. If you want to listen to a song on repeat forever, and that doesn't get boring for you though, this is a pretty good one. This is barely above average, because it had a few fun parts in it, but overall just nothing special. This song is way too repetitive, but the beat is good when you don't get bored of it. So much like Rumbletown, if you like listening to the same thing over and over again, this is pretty good for you. This song is just wasted potential. It had such a good thing going for it, but it could have been so much more. This song is actually pretty calming, it's nice, but it never really goes anywhere. It gets boring. I mean, it really does work for the Oracle, but I feel like it would have made sense if it was more mysterious and went in a different direction at some point. This song is very repetitive and very long, but it's not exactly boring. This song actually has a few highs, but has a lot more lows.
Captain Cluck's king-size chicken.
This song is just completely effortless, but I mean, it is. Somehow it's a little catchy. This song is a little simple, but not too simple. Alright, you still there? Cool, only 60 more to go. Monster Marsh only has one good part. The rest is just not that great. But that one part is genuinely amazing. If the rest of the song was like that, this probably would have been in my top like 20.
Make you laugh, and then I'll make you cry.
The song is pretty fun and threatening, but it's random. It really comes out of nowhere, and it gets annoying after a little while. It pretty much peaks in the first like 20 seconds. This song is trying to be something it isn't. If that makes sense. I don't really know how to describe it, but it just feels like it's trying to be something, but it's not supposed to be that thing. This song is nice, but it's so long, and after a while just it goes nowhere, pretty much, is what I'm trying to say. It goes nowhere. This could have used some extra work, but it's still fine. This is really good, but it never changes in an interesting way. It just banks on the fact that you will like this one beat over and over and over and over. Okay, this one is strange. There are two different versions for this level, so I'm just gonna say it like this. They both sound fine. The overworld one, where everything is 3D, sounds great, but it does not work with the level at all. But the 2D fake world works really well with the level. Doesn't sound as great, but it's just a nice little blend of mystery and adventure. This placement surprised me, because this is normally what people call the main theme of the first game, despite it not being that. But it's just a little slow here and there, and it has this one weird drumming part, but overall I do like the uniqueness of it. The song is great at first, but like a bunch of other songs, it gets repetitive. This song works really well with what it's given, but it isn't given much. This one is great at the start. The first, 30 seconds, awesome, but the middle and end are just baseline okay. This sounds great, but again, literally goes nowhere with its beat. It's just the same over and over. It has a few great parts, but it's just kinda in most. Honestly, this one's nice and simple, but it's far too long, and if it's gonna be this long of a song, it should go somewhere interesting. This one is repetitive, but the repetitivity kind of works with this one. Alright, this song is much like Monster Marsh I listed earlier. It has one amazing part, but the difference between this and that is the rest is actually pretty good. This one is pretty unique, but it's slow. Alright, honestly, this is a pretty good first half, and it's a decent second half. Alright, I don't know, Drillix's song is just somehow good. The transitions between singing and the level work well for some reason. I have no clue why I gave this a 74. This is an improved Crystallite Castle. It really works way better being slower. It's nice. This is mostly good, but it does have a few weak parts, bringing it down quite a lot. This honestly sounds really cool, but it just doesn't fit with the level at all. This one, much like the last one, is really good too, but it just, again, does not really fit with the level that well. This is great when it's slow. It's one of the few songs that works when it's slower, much like Stone Town. But when it's fast, they're just not as fun. This one is pretty relaxing, but it doesn't fit with the rest of the game. Just so you know, this is a Supercharger song, so it just doesn't really fit with the kind of style the rest of the game goes for. This is the background music for Drillix's level, and this really fits the level awesome, but it's a little too slow here and there. This is good and bad here and there. Overall, it's just a solid song. It's nice. This actually fits with the level pretty well, but it's a little slow, and it has one part that doesn't really work. Okay, why did you guys put effort into this one? Literally, my notes, I wrote 2 sentences for each description of the songs. I literally just put, why did you guys put effort into this one, as my notes for the song. The arena battle for Giants got an 80. 32nd placement. Why? This is just the lesser version of my 10th placement, but it is still pretty good. Honestly, this is one of the few songs I wish was a lot longer. It would have been great. Alright, I honestly have no clue why I like this one so much, I just do. Wait a second, this is like a classic, but it's in the 4th game. And it sounds good. Nice. This one has a phenomenal beginning, and a, pretty good middle and end. This one was a big surprise for me. It's not amazing, but it's well above average. This song is really good when Scooby isn't singing, and that will make a lot more sense if you hear this.
You beat the darkness.
This is not my type of song. It doesn't really work, but honestly, the lyrics are just so much fun. These are the fake credits when you think you've beaten the darkness at the end. It's just a lot of fun, hinting at it coming back and everything. This one is really mysterious, and it works for this character so well. This is one of the few themes on here, and one of the few good themes on here. This one is really good. It has an awesome blend of multiple types of songs. It's just so much fun. This song is very memorable and very catchy. This is the soundtrack that Glumshanks deserves. It's not the best, but it's nice. I like it. This is strangely good. Really no reason. It's just a lot of fun. This one has a slow start, but when you get to that second half, it is well worth it. The song is really unique, and it works with the level really well. I like it. The song sounds awesome and works really well with the level. It's just the songs that come after it are just more my style. If it weren't for that, this would probably be like the 3rd best song. This is probably the song that fits the best with the level it's placed with, and it sounds really cool too. This is really good and fits the game very well, honestly, but it's a little slow. I would study with this on loop. I like it. This is just stupidly fun, catchy, and overall just good. I used this in my return video. I have no clue why, but I'm glad I did. I like it. This works amazing with the level, and it sounds awesome. Alright, now we're here at the top 10. Are you ready? These are, in my opinion, the best it gets in this franchise. So here we go. This song is just stuck in my head. I can't get it out of my... It's so much fun. It's really good. Literally, once again, my note for this is just one sentence. It's still stuck in my head. Help. This song is way better than I remember. Like, a lot better than I remember. This was the first song I listened to out of all this, and I was not expecting it to be anywhere near this good. But the singing in it it's a bit weird. This song slaps. That is it. That's all I need to say. come on. This song is Giants. What? It's the main theme for Giants. Obviously, it's gonna be 6th. Every other villain I could possibly name wishes they had this theme. They wish this could be the theme in their final fight. This song sounds perfect, but the end doesn't really fit entirely with the level, but it still sounds awesome. I had no clue I would like this song. I went to it, I was like, okay, yeah, this is probably gonna be good, like, 83, 84. No, 97. This is epic, fun, and surprising. This is the Skylanders song. This is just unbelievably catchy. I had so much fun listening to it, and I listened to it 4 times. This is the perfect Skylanders song. 99, only because I do not believe in giving things a 100. Yeah, I mean, it's just got it all. It works perfect with the level, it sounds amazing, it never goes slow, it always takes the song in a new, awesome direction. What else do you want from me? The best aerial attack. From Motherly Mayhem all the way in 75th, all the way up to aerial attack. A score of 44 to 99. Which, honestly, was better than I thought. There you go. Every song ranked from worst to best. In the description, I have 5 playlists for all 5 game soundtracks, and I advise you to listen to all of them, honestly. I have learned today that nearly all of them have some good quality, but I also, while I was at it, just decided to rank each game in the musical category by averaging every single score I gave and making that the game's score. But I also gave a personal score and picked a number between the two, if that makes sense. So, here it is. Last place, well, Imaginators, but actual last place, not surprising, Trap Team with a total score of 66. Yikes. Trap Team has some of the weakest songs, but it also had one of the top 10 songs and its main theme scoring 14th. Overall, it wasn't great, but individually, some of these songs were awesome. In 4th, also not really surprising, Swap Force with a score of 72. Honestly, that score was a lot less than I was expecting. Swap Force has the 75th placed piece of music, Motherly Mayhem, but it also had Farewell Baron and A New Chiefess, which were some of the highest scoring songs. Swap Force also had the weakest main theme. I mean, it was great at the start, but after that, Overall, I think Swap Force's music feels the least like Skylanders' music. It's very different, but, you know, I kind of like that it's different. In 3rd, I was not expecting Spyro's Adventure with a total score of 76. I was expecting a 2nd place, maybe even a 1st place from this one, but no, 3rd. Spyro's Adventure had the 3rd and 8th placed songs, but it also had some surprisingly weak ones. I don't think any of these game's songs were bad, I just think too many of them were average in a series with so many great ones. 2nd place belongs to Superchargers somehow with a score of 80. Honestly, I was expecting Superchargers to nearly tie with Swap Force, or maybe even get worse, but somehow the soundtrack was genuinely awesome. It had the 2nd best song, and I don't even recall any being in the bottom 15. I probably won't be revisiting most of these anytime soon, which is honestly their only downside. They're good, memorable, but not something I would ever revisit. And in 1st, I mean, who was surprised? Giants with a score of 84, which is honestly being 1st, that's surprisingly low. Giants held 1st, 4th, 5th, and 6th on this list. Giants is the most nostalgic, sounded like it had the most effort in it, and overall is just so much fun. The amount of times I've revisited Cutthroat Carnival and Aerial Attack is uncountable. Turns out Giants doesn't only carry in the gameplay department, but also the musical one. There isn't some big overarching message from this video, just know that when I said the Skylanders music slapped, I meant it.